In the 1950s in northern Minnesota, a young man by the name of Robert Zimmerman was growing up with dreams of becoming a world-famous rock star. Now, to accomplish this dream, he taught himself to play the piano, to play the guitar, to sing, to play the harmonica. And his one wish, his one big dream in life was to play on the big stage in front of millions of adoring fans. And that was his luck that at that time, his high school had a talent show, like high schools do from time to time. And Robert entered himself into the talent show, excited to show an audience for the very first time his talent and his passion and his love for music. Now, when he hit the stage and the curtains opened, he rolled into his song. Now, remember, in the 1950s, rock and roll wasn't something that people played, wasn't something that people listened to. So most of the audience was speechless. Those in the audience that were not speechless began to boo. In fact, they booed him entirely off the stage. The principal had to drop the curtain and end his act. So his very first touch seeing an audience of people hearing his music, he was literally booed off the stage. Now, fortunately, this did not end Robert's music career. Just the opposite, in fact. He left his small town in search of a more appreciative audience. He began playing in small clubs throughout the Midwest and eventually found himself headed to New York City. While in New York City, he played every day, he played every night, he practiced, he played in front of more and more audiences, took their feedback, and continued this dream, this aspiration to be a world-famous musician. And eventually, he even landed a record contract. And in 1962, he released his very first album under his new name, and that name was Bob Dylan. Now, by 2006, and today, he's become one of the most world-renowned recording artists of all time. In fact, just in 2016, he won a Nobel Prize for revolutionizing music, for changing the music industry. He's been one of the only people to get the Rolling Stones magazine for 100 greatest artists of all time, ranked number 2 on there. He's also been ranked by Rolling Stone as 100 or 500 greatest albums of all time. He's inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, and Songwriters Hall of Fame. He's listed in Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people of the 20th century. He did this through his music. Now imagine if he had given up when he first met defeat. Imagine if he had given in when he was booed off the stage. The world would absolutely be a different place today had he decided to give up rather than to continue going. His song Blowin' in the Wind is considered one of the biggest revolution songs of the 1960s. He also wrote songs Knockin' on Heaven's Door, Mr. Tambourine Man, Forever Young, Like a Rolling Stone, and many, many other songs that you've heard remade by other artists or you've heard at some point in your life. Now, Bob Dylan is a name that you've at least heard of. Whether you know his music or don't know his music, what I want you to take from this story is that he did not give up. He chose what his dreams were. He didn't let the world or those around him determine his dreams. And neither should you, okay? Neither should you. You need to surround yourself with people who believe in you. As I say many, many times on the podcast and on the blog, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Right now, whether you're driving or running or whatever you're doing at this moment, take a minute, reflect. If you can, write down on a piece of paper, who are the 5 people that you're spending the most time with? Are they building you up? Are they people that you aspire to be someday? Or are they people that are tearing you down? Now realize that it's hard to become better. It's hard to become a better person than those people who you are spending all of your time with. What I want you to do is, first of all, determine what your dream is. And as a nursing student, as someone in nursing school, one of your dreams, at least, should be to become a nurse. And to be a very good nurse at that, to not just be any nurse, but to be a very good nurse. Someone who cares for their patients. Someone who advocates for their patients. Someone who is knowledgeable. I know that because you're listening to this podcast, because you're part of the NRSNG family, that is you. That is your dream. But what we get every day, every single day from nursing students, we have 150 emails in our inbox right now from nursing students that are struggling with something. Now, that might be pharmacology for many of you. It is pharmacology. It might be EKGs. It might be a professor. It might be the workload. It might be the stress. It might be the family. It might be the job. But what I want you to do is when you show up to school tomorrow, realize that everyone around you is also struggling with something. Okay, you're not the only one struggling. We're all going through this. We're all struggling. So realize that you are not alone, first of all, and realize that you're not going to give up because of this struggle. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. You're not going to give up because of this struggle. Whatever it is right now, because something else is going to come. There's going to be another struggle. And what I've found in life is the struggles tend to be as big as you're capable of handling. As you grow as a person, the struggles get more complicated. All right, my 3-year-old daughter's name is Kai. Some of you have seen pictures of her on Instagram or on Snapchat or whatever. My 3-year-old daughter, Kai, a huge struggle for her is simply learning to brush her own teeth. That's something that she's trying to figure out. We have to remind her every day. We have to teach her. We're showing her. That's something that she's struggling with as she's growing up. Now, thankfully, I don't struggle with that anymore. Okay, I figured that one out. But my struggles have gotten more and more and more difficult as I've grown. And that's true with NRSNG in general. Our first struggles were how are people going to hear about us? Okay, how are people going to know our message of trying to change nursing education, of trying to revolutionize the way nurses are taught? And now we have bigger struggles. Now we have, okay, how do we manage all these people? And how do we handle all this? How do we reach, more people? Our struggles change as we grow, and they get more difficult as we grow. I don't want you to take that and hear that as that it's always going to be hard. What I want you to do with that information is I want you to realize that you're capable of conquering this. If pharmacology is your struggle right now, if study habits is your struggle right now, if financial concerns are your struggle right now, realize that you're going to get through that. Your goal at this moment, your number one goal, is to become a nurse. And to do that, you have to get through nursing school. You have to conquer all these struggles, whatever they are, and you have to get through them, okay? And you will get through them, okay? We're here to help you as well. The other thing I want you to take from this is that you are the average of those people that you spend your time with, okay? It's very hard to be better than your peers, and when I say that, I mean it's hard to be a better studier. It's hard to be more focused. It's hard to be more patient, more caring, more kind than those people that you spend your time with. You tend to be like those people who you spend your time with. So I want you to evaluate who you're spending your time with and make sure that you are spending your time with people that are lifting you up and making you better. Now, one thing you can do with that, guys, is simply listening to this podcast, listening to the people that we interview, listening to the other nurses that come on and share their stories, and engaging on social media with us and with the people in the NRSNG community. We've attracted and we're building this community of highly focused people, not the ones that want to take shortcuts, that want to just learn a simple test hack or whatever, but we're building a community of nurses and nursing students that want to improve nursing education, and you are part of that. So just the simple fact that you're listening to us today is proof that you're surrounding yourself with good people, and I want you to continue to do that. Okay, share this with people that you want to lift up and to build and to make better. You guys, I'm so grateful for you being here, and I want you to think about this the next time you're feeling a big struggle. I know today, hopefully, this will help a few people. And if today you're not feeling a struggle, and that would be incredible. I hope that, your struggles are all manageable now, but if today you're not feeling a struggle, but later on you do, I want you to think back on this. And I know, these feel-good stories about people who made it and looking back at it retrospectively can be a little misleading, because you have to realize, how did Bob Dylan really feel as Robert Zimmerman playing that first time in front of his peers, taking that leap of faith? Imagine that. Taking that massive leap of faith, playing in front of all your high school and being booed off the stage. He had to confront those people the next day. He had to confront them in the next class. And that was real to him at that moment. That pain, that rejection, that fear was all very, very real and palpable to him in that moment. But his dream, his desire, his motivation was stronger than any fear, than any rejection, and than any pain. So you guys, yes, the struggles are going to come, and they're going to be very real, and they're going to hurt at times. They're going to be very, very difficult to manage. But your desire to be a nurse has to be stronger than all of that. And I encourage you to keep pushing and realize that we're here for you. Here at NRSNG, our goal and our mission is to give you the tools and the confidence that you need to succeed. All right, and this podcast is primarily focused on giving you that confidence, okay? With that said, guys, I know that's kind of a long spiel, and I appreciate those who have reached out to us on social media. I got a couple Instagram messages this week, a couple Snapchats this week, and Facebook messages this week from people who have said the podcast has really helped them, especially when I shared my story about quitting nursing school. And I want you to know that means a lot to me. You know, when I spend time pondering and thinking about what I want to say to you guys, in these podcast episodes, I put a lot of time into that. And it really means a lot that they're helping you and that they're reaching you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I'm truly humbled by that. And if this has helped you guys, please share with someone. It's very easy to share a podcast there on your phone. Just send it as a text, whatever, and leave a review. I truly appreciate that. Remember, we're here for you. If you don't feel like you have anybody else on your team, realize NRSNG, we got your back, all right? We're here to help you through this. So, with all that said, again, guys, this is John Haas, RN CCRN, your biggest fan, here to help you along in the process. Now, remember, we have the NRSNG Academy that you can join for just a 3-day, $1 trial, and that will give you the tools, right? The tools that you need, the courses, the NCLEX questions, the flashcards, the video, the audio, everything that's included there. It's at nrsngacademy.com. Check that out. We also have a private Facebook group where we chat and we build each other up for members of the Academy. With all that said, you know what time it is now. It's time to go out and be your best self today. Happy nursing.